Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us. MLB The Show has action out of the NL Central. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. First pitch coming your way next. So just about set now. And now here's the starter for the Cubs, Ken Waldichuk. And Singy, we were talking earlier about how he's doing a great job navigating through tough spots.
I've just been so impressed with when it seems like there's more pressure, he's more calm and settles in. He's done an incredible job with runners in scoring position. Most guys, they get a little tight, they start to aim the baseball, but for some reason, he gets looser, the ball comes out of his hand with more life, and he's able to wiggle off the hook of, tough situations and get his team back in the dugout.
The pitch. Tommy Edman stands in here. Tried to hold back his swing there, but went around. And that one is lifted in the air. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. And there's one down.
Batting second, the center fielder, number 3, Dylan.
This is Dylan Carlson. Hey. 0-1. And a strike in there.
All right, now he may have not liked either of those first two pitches or agreed with the umpire's calls, but at this point he's going to have to bear down and be ready to hit anything close to the zone.
Smash to the left side. Whips it across. Quick start to this afternoon's action. 2 gone.
Batting third, the first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
And here's Paul Goldschmidt. Caught everyone's attention yesterday afternoon with 3 homers. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average, but one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. First pitch doesn't find the zone. They're so reliant on the matchups nowadays, Chris, and it's huge when you don't have to sit a guy or platoon him.
When you can hit both sides in terms of pitchers' arms, you're a guy that it's hard to take out of the lineup, and I think it's very important today when everything is under the microscope.
Next offering is in for a strike.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Swing and a miss. 2-2 now. And here it comes. Dives and he can't hang on. He doesn't have a throw, and the defense comes away with nothing.
He's been swinging it really well lately. That pretty much split the zone down the middle, and those are the ones where you got to make them pay.
Here's Nolan Arenado. 2 homers in the game yesterday, so he's feeling good coming in. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. That's a little bit low. 2-0 to count. Here it comes. There's a strike.
Well, he had a pretty good look at that pitch and not sure exactly what tied him up there. Couldn't pull the trigger, and perhaps the best pitch he'll see in this at bat to hit.
2-2 now. And now the count filled up 3-2.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. A lot of movement in the infield. Hitter's got to stay focused on the pitch.
On the ground and foul ball. And it's ball 4. He missed down low.
Oh, looking for a swing and miss right there, or for the ump to help him out and make a call with that last pitch, but neither happened. Close pitch, but a good take to earn that walk.
And up to hit is Wilson Contreras. First offering misses the mark.
Well, the best way to shake off yesterday's struggles is to get on the board early. They've got a guy in scoring position. They've got to find a way here to get him in.
The 1-0. That one missed. And the pitch. Misses inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Tyler O'Neill waiting for a turn at the plate. First and second, 2 down. There's a strike, 3-1.
Now just a cement mixer slider right there. It's a great pitch to hit if you can recognize it early and jump on it.
Kicks and fires. That's a strike. The kick, the 3-2. Swings and misses, struck him out. Pulled the string on the changeup. No runs, a hit, 2 left. Now the Cubbies will get their first crack. No score. Back here at Wrigley Field, on the mound for this one, Steven Matz.
Well, he got into the 8th inning his last time out, really pitching deep into games as of late. We'll see today how many innings he's got in him.
We go to the bottom of the first. Here's Trey Turner.
If you don't get ahead in the count, you can forget about having any success against him.
The wind and the pitch. And first offering is fouled off. Singy, how about this? From 2019 through 2022, Trey Turner had a higher slugging percentage than Carlos Correa, Corey Seager, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Ronald Acuna. Line drive, and that's a base hit to right. So a man on base to start the inning.
Love how he let that ball travel, trusted his hands. Nice job of going the other way.
Man aboard, and here is Devers. Didn't play in the day game yesterday, so he should be fresh for this one. Swing and a miss. That's strike 1. At the belt and fires.
Ball.
Pitch misses there. One ball, one strike. Turner on at first. Nobody out. Check swing, but he went too far. Now 1-2. To first, and they've got him picked off. To second, and he's out.
So much for their first hit right there. Good move, and he had him leaning all the way.
And now it's even up.
2 strikes.
One down, base is empty. Lifted in the air down the left side, and a base hit.
Well, those kind of lucky soft hits will always make you smile. Totally tied up with that inside pitch. Got to it late and deep in the zone, but he got the bat on plane enough to fight it off the other way.
One down, and the batter now, Brian Reynolds. Pitch misses inside, and that's ball 1. Kicks and deals. That one misses, and it's 2-0.
Last 2 pitches have been down in the zone. Pitcher clearly trying to get that ground ball double play, but in this count, he's going to have to give in, elevate his pitches, and get back into this at bat.
Good hitters count the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup. And a pitch.
That's ball 3.
Swing and a foul straight back. Three-2 now. Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again.
Well, pretty clear to me. He was trying to go deep right there, but you got to get a pitch that you can handle.
And he deals to the right side, and that's a fair ball. Around second is Devers. Throw into third. He's in there.
Batting fourth, the first baseman,
Kyle Schwarber comes up to hit here. Homered in the ball game yesterday afternoon. In there, and it's 0-1. Here comes a pitch. Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit. 1 run is in. Coming around third is Reynolds. He's also in to score, and they take a 2-run lead.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Everyone's trying to elevate the ball in today's game, but if you can hit a ball that hard on the ground, it's going to find some holes.
One out, runner at second. Now here's the switch hitting power threat, Jose Ramirez. Coming off a big one yesterday where he knocked in 5. And a foul ball left side.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
Swing and a line drive, base hit out of the center field. Here comes Schwarber around third. He will score. It's 3-zip.
4 hits in a row, and they're really swinging it here. Everything was on time and fluid in that swing. Got a pitch you could get the barrel on and lined it into center for the knock. Those always feel good.
1 gone, runner at first. Stephen Kwan, the next Cub to hit. Good contact guy, good defender. That one's in there, 0-1. The pitch.
Nope.
They've got him working a little harder in this first frame than he anticipated.
Step off throw to first. Ramirez gets back easily. One now. And fouled off.
You know, lots of pitches thrown in this first inning. It's kind of that nightmare scenario for starting pitching. But you know what? It's still early enough. He can settle in. He can get some length if he just cleans up his mechanics a little bit.
The 1-1 is fouled off.
Well, they're really running up the pitch count in this first inning. Lots of confidence from this team that is perhaps the hottest in baseball right now.
The 1-2. Fair ball. Around second is Ramirez. The throw in, and he's safe. So it's first and third with 1 down.
Batting 7, the right fielder,
Nelson Velasquez, the next Cub to hit. And that's in there for strike 1. Still only 1 out here in the inning. And takes low for ball 1. The 1-1 is fouled off. Lefty out of the stretch, runners at first and third. Battling here as he fouls it away. And a pitch. This one kicks away a little as he can't squeeze it. And now a single might score 2. One down, runners at second and third. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 2 down. Bo Bichette up to the dish.
Hey, it's still early in this ball game, but you know, this at bat right here could be a big factor in the outcome. You think about it. There's a chance to really blow this thing open right here.
First pitch just misses.
Big moment in this game. 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position, and could really break this thing wide open early.
2 outs.
That's a ball.
He's been raking in recent games, and a big reason why. Getting ahead in counts. He's been able to do that consistently, and you see the results.
In there at the knees, and it's 2-1. 2 on, 2 outs. Base knock center field, and that should be extra bases. 1 run is in. Another comes in to score. It's 5-0. And he's in at second with a 2-out double.
He was all over that one. You'll often hear the phrase short to it, long through it, and that's a great example of it right there. Got the barrel in the hitting zone early, squared it up with the well-timed swing, and came away with a beautiful line drive into center field.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Steven Matz out of the game, and this is one he'd like to forget. Back with a new arm after this. Caleb Killian taking over on the mound.
Well, I got to think he probably has a little extra in the tank facing his former team, and there's not a player in the league that doesn't get a little extra motivation when he plays against his old squad.
So 2 down, and now it's Dom Nunez. In there for strike 1. And that one is inside. Movement in the bullpen for the Cardinals. Griffin Roberts up and throwing. 2 outs and 1 in scoring position. The next pitch misses. 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Swings and sends a rocket to right. Nootbaar puts it away, and that's the inning. But 9 batters hit in the inning. 5 come around to score. Second inning coming up here at Wrigley. It's the Cubs 5 and the Cardinals nothing. Back here at the ballpark, top of the second. Here's Tyler O'Neill. Pretty amazing athlete this guy is. Power and speed, quite a threat. I mean, you're talking about someone that could steal you a bag and go deep. Bo Jackson, anyone? Waldichuk back to work. He swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1.
When you have a real athletic player and who's able to do the baseball mechanical things really well, look out, because the sky's the limit on that potential.
Can't field it cleanly.
Batting 7, the right fielder, number 21.
Well, you can't give him 2 errors on that play, but that's pretty much what it looked like. Tried to stay with it after the bobble, and it might have pulled it off with a good throw, but it's very easy to rush the throw when you don't field it cleanly. A lot of times guys don't have a good grip on it, and I think that was the case right there.
Man at first, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Lars Nootbaar.
Oh, that pitch is out.
In the air, right side. Velasquez hauls it in, and there's 1 away.
Maybe caught that one off the end just a little bit. Couldn't quite barrel it up enough to really drive it.
The second baseman, Paul DeYoung.
Now it's Paul DeYoung up to the plate. Good defender. He's been inconsistent offensively. That one finds the corner, and it's 0-1. O'Neill, the runner at first with one gone in the inning. Next pitch inside, and 1-1. Darryl Parker assigned to umpiring duty behind home plate.
And Boog, with DP, it's sort of a coin flip on those borderline corner pitches. Doesn't really favor one side of the plate more than the other. Sometimes you'll get a little extra the plate, and sometimes you won't. It does seem like he evens it out over the course of a game, though.
The next offering misses. 2-1. Singy, what kind of strike zone is most frustrating for hitters?
I'd say off the plate, away, and down. And why? Those are the toughest locations to hit the baseball.
Popped up to the left, into foul ground. Nunez settles under this one, makes the grab, 2 down. As the game has moved along, we see more and more information supplied by teams about the umpires. I've been in clubhouses where they have pictures of all 4 guys, nicknames, hometowns, and as well hobbies listed, just so you can kind of small talk the umpire a little bit.
That's great.
On a line, base hit. O'Neill on his way to third, and that'll put runners at the corners with 2 away.
Now batting, the shortstop, Tommy.
And here comes Tommy Edman. Next offering, pop foul off to the right out of play. Liner, base hit. 1 run across. Mercado around third. And he's in safely at third as they score a pair on the play.
Everything came together for him. Just a cookie down the middle. I mean, those are the ones you dream about. Ones in the cage, you're just hoping you get in the ball game. Right down the middle, not a whole lot of velocity, right on top of it.
2 outs with a man at third. Dylan Carlson next up for the Cardinals. 0 for 1 so far. Here's the strike at the knees. 0-1. Two outs with a runner at third. Hit hard on the ground to short. Fires over to Schwarber. That ends the inning and stops things from getting out of hand. But they pick up a pair here, both coming on this 2-run triple. It's 5-2. You're dialed into the show. Bottom half of inning number 2. Here's the Cubs leadoff man, Trey Turner. 2022 turned out to be a banner year for Trey Turner. Won the Silver Slugger. He was the National League starter at shortstop in the All-Star game. And as well, 21 homers, 100 runs batted in, and 27 stolen bases. He's got it. 1 away.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Rafael.
And here is Devers. 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored so far. And first offering is fouled off. Bounced up the middle. Edman slings to first. 2 up, 2 down.
Center fielder, number 16, Brian Reynolds.
2 outs, base is empty. Brian Reynolds, the next Cub to hit. Singled and scored his first time. in there, and it's 0-1.
0-1.
They say you win.
0-2.
Line drive. And they take care of Reynolds for the out. And that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. And it remains 5-2. On the north side of Chicago, John Sciambi and Chris Singleton on to the third inning. Now up for St. Louis, Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie goes 6 feet 3 inches, 35 years old, and he's a former National League Gold Glover. First offering, and it just misses.
Nasty backdoor slider. There's really nothing you can do with that if you swing at it, so that's a good take by him.
That one pushed foul. The wind of the pitch. Off the mark there, and it's 2-1. Got him. One gone here. Here's Nolan Arenado. Worked a walk at his first trip to the plate. He's kind of an outlier, especially when guys are consciously sacrificing contact to deliver power.
Yeah, his swing is so good. It's in the zone a long time. He gets the barrel to it a lot, and that produces more base hits.
First pitch, and he just misses. When you look at the elite teams in the game right now, there is going to be the slug, no question about it. But the really good offensive teams combine slug with more contact, with less swing and miss. The 1-1. Right field, down the line, and that one slices foul. 1-2 now. Way inside, gets out of the way.
Yeah, and the domino effect of that is running up pitch counts on pitchers and then either getting them to a place of fatigue or getting into the bullpen perhaps before you get to those higher leverage arms at the back end.
Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. One of the things that Jim Leland used to say when I was broadcasting with the Marlins, the longer a plate appearance goes for a batter, the more likely it is that something good will happen for the hitter. Still 2-2 after the foul ball. Here's a 2-2. Hammers that one deep left field, and forget it. His 23rd of the year, and they slice into the lead. It's 5-3.
Breaking ball on the inside part of the plate requires a hitter to stay really square with his mechanics. If you fly open with the front shoulder, there's no way you keep that ball fair. An outstanding job mechanically. He deserves that home run.
So 1 out, nobody on. Next to hit, Wilson Contreras. His first at bat was a strikeout. That one's in there. 0-1.
Yeah, and I figured you would get Kotsay into this because you had a free dinner at his house the other night.
That is true. And that one lifted in the air center field. Reynolds gets under it. Puts it away for the out.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
So up next, Tyler O'Neill. He's 0 for 1. First pitch doesn't find the zone. And a strike. This one popped up. Foul ground, first base side. Oh, he brought it back. But not before they're able to draw closer with this blast. It's now 5-3. Back after this on the show. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Now, Kyle Schwarber.
The first baseman, Kyle
Killian, in his rookie season, 25 years old, and he was drafted in the 8th round back in 2019. Killian back to work. And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes. And the right-hander deals. That one to first. The flip to the pitcher covering. One gone, bottom of the 3rd inning.
Look at the big guy getting down and dirty, robbing what probably would have been a double if it gets by him. We'd love to see that because most times it's the shortstop or second baseman, but he wants to get in the mix a little bit as well.
Here's Jose Ramirez. Singled and drove in a run his first time through. You know, Singy, Jose Ramirez signed that big extension, a 5-year, $124 million contract before the 2022 season. But right before that happened, the Guardians came this close to trading him. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. Fielding for the wall, makes the catch in foul ground.
Now batting, the left fielder, Steven.
And up next for Chicago, Steven Kwan. 1 for 1 with a single so far. Kwan, a reigning Gold Glove winner, batting 6th in today's lineup. What a run over the last 10 as he's hitting over 400 during that span. And there's the strike.
First pitch strike right there for him. He's going to have to do that consistently if he's going to give any length to his skipper.
Next offering is downstairs. The 1-1 is fouled off. The wide to kick the pitch. That one the other way. Over to Goldie. And that is that. Nothing happening there for the Cubs. And it remains 5-3. Welcome back. John Shambi with Chris Singleton. And set to lead off the 4th, Lars Nootbaar.
Lars Nootbaar.
And a pitch. Ball one there.
You know, these Cards showing great discipline at the plate, and patience definitely seems to be the name of their game in this one. It's not just the 3 runs they've already scored. On top of that, They forced this starter to throw more pitches than he wanted to at this point of the game.
Velasquez drifts towards it, squeezes it, and there's one down.
Yeah, I'm looking at his body language, and he just doesn't seem like things are in sync, and the ball's just not coming off his bat the way it did earlier in the regular season.
And up next for St. Louis, Paul DeYoung. Popped out and foul ground first time through.
And that pitch count is impactful because if they can keep making him work hard out there, it may force the bullpen to get involved a little sooner rather than later.
On the ground to third, whips it to first, and that quickly 2 away.
Now batting, the left fielder, Oscar.
Now it's Oscar Mercado. Picked up a base hit to center his first time up. That's outside, and that's ball 1. And there's the strike. The 1-1 is fouled off. That's foul off to the right side, keeps the AB going. The wide, the kick, and the 1-2. Bounced out to short. Bichette whips it to first. Third out, and that ends the frame. Nothing doing there for St. Louis. They're still down 5-3. Back here at the friendly confines, bottom of the 4th. So up now for Chicago, Nelson Velasquez. Yeah, the right-hander back to work. Line to second, snagged on the bounce. And one gone to the 4th as they get the leadoff man.
Up next to the Cubs, the shortstop, Bo.
Now it's the shortstop, Bo Bichette. Doubled in his first AB. Pitch misses inside, ball 1. Bounce to the left side, and that's just foul. Ball to strike. Base hit center field.
Still able to come through behind in the count right there. Good extension on that swing. Took the pitch on the outside part of the plate and drove it up the middle. He let it travel just enough.
And here's the catcher, Dom Nunez. He's 0 for 1. That misses the zone. 1-0. Righty to the plate. That one's in there, and the count 1-1. Righty delivers. Tapped out in front of the plate. And there's 2 down.
Now batting, the second baseman,
Trey Turner at the plate. 1 for 2. Singy, he's got a history of coming through into big spots. I know I like to talk about, I'm not sure whether clutch actually exists, but you look at the numbers, and this guy always seems to deliver in those spots. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Well, I think it's the ability to assess the situation, understanding what the pitcher has, what he's trying to get people out on, and then being able to use the entire field.
They say you win.
If you're a guy that can only hit to one field, then you're really not going to be able to come through in clutch situations because pitchers are going to adjust. But because he's able to use the entire field, that's why he's so successful in these situations.
Line drive, and that's a base hit out into center field. Bichette around third and headed home. He'll score easily. It's 6-3.
Picks himself up an RBI. I could watch base hits like that one all day long, and so could every hitting coach in the league. Just a nice line drive into center field. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
2 outs, runner at first. And it's Rafael Devers in the box. Singled and scored back in the first. He's 1 for 2. There's a strike. When you played, did you play with guys that you thought were clutch, and sort of what were the attributes you said that's what he possesses that allows him to come through?
Well, we always used to joke, you know, guys want to eat steak, and there were some that just had a knack, could understand that, all right, this is a big, payout if I can come through with a knock here. But I think when you really look at the numbers, you really audit everything, guys kind of are who they are.
DeYoung throws to first in time. Gets him easily, ends the inning. So 1 run in the inning on this base hit. It's now 6-3. Here at Wrigley Field, all set for the start of the inning. And here's the St. Louis leadoff man, Tommy Edman. The wind of the pitch. Lifted in the air, out to left. Kwan makes the grab, 1 away.
The offense needs to start showing some fight against this starter. He's doing his thing out there. They're going to have to push back at some point and make him work a little bit harder.
Dylan Carlson now at the plate. A switch hitter batting right. That one's in there, 0-1. Well, it was bumpy in the early going for the lefty, but he settled into a really nice groove. Lined, and that's a base hit.
Now batting.
Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. Hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly.
Now it's Goldschmidt up to the plate. That one clips the outside corner, and it's 0-1. The pitch. Line drive. Makes the grab, and there's 2 gone.
Now batting, the third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
Nolan Arenado next up for the Cardinals. He's already homered in this game. Chris, baseball today, so many strikeouts, and they are available to pitchers. But this is a guy that puts the bat on the ball and is kind of different from the players that we see day in, day out. First offering misses the mark. Carlson off of first with 2 away. Now 1-1.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ripped to short. Fires over to Schwarber, and they get Arenado for the out. And that'll do it. The Cards leave one and can't cut into that 6-3 deficit. And welcome back. Brian Reynolds here. And the pitch. And there's a strike.
You know, these Cubs putting together some really good at-bats in this game. There's been a lot to like with how they're approaching their chances at the plate. It looked to me like they really wanted to get to the starter early, get him out of the game before he settles in. So I'd say mission accomplished.
Sends it across to first, and the leadoff hitter retired in the 5th.
The first baseman, number 12.
Now here is Kyle Schwarber. Drove in 2 runs on a double back in the first. He's 1 for 2. Chris, remember the Cubs won it all in 2016. Well, Kyle Schwarber suffered a regular season-ending left knee injury 2 games into the year. April 7th, he had torn ligaments in that knee. Now the 0-1. And strike 2, but he was added to the World Series roster and became the first position player to collect a hit in the World Series after going hitless during the regular season. He still has the text from Theo Epstein that said, "You made the World Series roster." Bounce to the right side. He takes it on his own. Home half of the 5th inning, moving along. 2 quick outs.
The third baseman, Jose Ramirez.
Now it's Jose Ramirez. 1 for 2. He had an RBI base hit back in the first. First pitch just misses. Swings and crushes one. Right field, way back, and gone. Jose Ramirez bops one out. Homer number 25 of the year, and they add a run. It's 7-3.
That's exactly the pitch he was looking for. Crushes it and hits it out of the ballpark.
So 2 away with nobody on. And now Stephen Kwan. That catches the outside corner. It's 0-1. In the air out to center. Carlson settles underneath it. Makes the grab, and that's the inning. 1 scores in the inning, coming on this solo home run. It's now 7-3. It's Major League Baseball on the show. Back here at Wrigley Field, Wilson Contreras now up to the plate. This is a guy who is very highly regarded defensively. Fun to watch him control stuff behind the plate. Good game caller. Good at framing, but it's that big arm that really stands out. The wind and the pitch. And that one is inside ball 1.
You come into the game knowing that unless the ball's in the dirt or gets by him, we're probably not going to steal anything today. So that's where you want to get a little more aggressive on your secondary lead and hope that some base hits, some slugs, some home runs can come into play.
That clips the corner.
Well, I'll say this as a former position player and base stealer. When you come into a game and you've got a guy like this behind the dish with a big arm, you really have to change your approach. Can't try to steal because you'll get thrown out. Maybe get a little bigger lead, be aggressive.
Oh, this one high and deep, way back there. And that one is off the wall. And he's into third base with a leadoff triple.
Everything came together perfectly for him right there. Put a great swing on that pitch to deep center field, and we knew it was going to be close, but just not quite enough. And I'm sure a few of his teammates might be yelling weight room at him right now, but he should definitely feel good about that one. Could be a chance here for them to start clawing back into this ball game.
Tyler O'Neill digs in now. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
Well, a big lead like this is comfortable many times, but not when these two teams are matching up. You got to continue to keep your head down, play catch with that catcher, and just try to move through this lineup.
The pitch. And that's in for a strike. Two of the most potent offenses in the game squaring off. Ball to strike. The pitch. Hit on the ground to the right side. He'll do it himself. Now one gone in the top of the sixth.
The right fielder, number 21.
So digging in, Lars Nootbaar.
And Boog, I'd say he's due. And this is a big opportunity for him to pick up his teammate right here.
That one's in there. 0-1. The pitch. Swings and misses. Slider right there.
That pitch started in and ended up on the outside edge. Just changing planes and very difficult, especially for a left-handed hitter to track.
To third, Ramirez. Now a jump throw. Awesome play there.
Well, he didn't recognize changeup earlier enough. Got out in front a little bit, rolled over on it, and beat it into the ground.
On the north side of Chicago, John Sciambi and Chris Singleton. Here's the second baseman, Paul DeYoung. That's in there. Strike one. And ball one.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Kicks and deals. DeYoung tries to hold up, appeal to first, and that's ruled a swing. It's a strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. 7, 8, 9 due up in the home half of the inning. It's the Cubs 7 and the Cardinals 3. And now the right fielder, Nelson Velasquez.
The right fielder,
Velasquez, 24 years old, and he was a 5th-round pick back in 2017. Killian back to work.
Yep,
And the pitch is outside, ball 1. That misses off the outside edge. And a foul ball. Right-hander kicks, deals. And now 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's inside. Full count now. Line drive, base hit.
now batting, the shortstop.
Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy, didn't try to pull the ball. He let it get deep, took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
And next for the Cubs, Bo Bichette. And first offering is fouled off. Velasquez gets his lead at first. Nobody out. Next offering is in for a strike.
And that's a great take right there. Even though it's a strike, with the situation, runner on first base, you want to keep the ball off the ground. And you swing at that pitch, most likely you roll into a double play.
Next offering misses down and away. One, two now. Good eye right there.
He's trying to stay down in the zone, but the hitter just will not chase. Now back in a 2-2 count, he's going to have to go to something else to get him out.
Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. On the ground to the left, Arenado. Tosses to first. One away, bottom of the sixth.
Now batting, the catcher,
Dom Nunez, the next Cub to hit. This one chopped on the ground, but foul. The 0-1.
He's clearly out there throwing pitches in this situation. First base is open. If he walks him, no big deal.
One out and a runner at second. That misses. And a count 1-2.
0-2 count. You got the opportunity to expand the zone. Could get the chase there. Let's see what he comes back with next.
The 1-1 is fouled off. The 1-2. And a foul ball. He stays alive. And the righty deals. Fouls it off. Still 1-2.
Well, he's having a tough time getting a pitch by him. As a hitter, you feel pretty confident that you're seeing different pitches still able to make some type of contact.
That misses the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Next offering way off the plate. And that's a strikeout looking. Froze him with the heater at the knees.
Really good battle right there. And that final pitch probably could have gone either way. He was hoping he'd get ball 4. Instead, the umpire rings him up for the backwards K.
Trey Turner with a chance now.
He was the big part of the field last time. Nice liner to center.
And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Just missed. Runner at second, 2 down. Popped up. Arenado under this one. Puts the squeeze on that one, and that'll end the inning. 1 left for the Cubs, but they lead it by 4. It's 7-3. Top of inning number 7. Now it's going to be Oscar Mercado.
Oscar Mercado.
And he deals. That one back up the middle, and it gets through.
Didn't take long to get a result for that at bat. Just kept it simple. Played pepper with the middle of the infield and took it back where it came from, and there's just no one there to knock it down.
Tommy Edman at the plate.
If you're going to get something going, this is the time to do it. You get the leadoff man on. Everybody's got to look over the shoulder and say, I'm just going to keep the line moving. Don't try to do too much.
First pitch, and that's in for a strike.
0-1.
Runner at first with no outs here. And a foul ball. Tried to check his swing there. Now an appeal to first, and that's going to be ruled a swing. Man at first, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Dylan Carlson.
Beautiful swing in his last at bat, opposite field knock.
And that's
Ball one,
outside.
no strike.
Kicks and fires. In the air, right field. Hauls it in, and there's 2 away. Here's Paul Goldschmidt, 1 for 3.
Paul Goldschmidt.
And the first pitch misses for ball 1. And now the lefty. There's a strike.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
Mercado, the runner at first with 2 gone. Good eye right there. Next pitch misses, and that's ball 3.
Great RBI spot here. Just got to stay focused on the pitch. The runner will be in motion, so something in the gap should definitely score it.
Caught him looking for the K. So 1 left for the Cardinals. They're down 4. It's 7-3. Jake Woodford comes on now.
And as relievers go, he's not a big strikeout guy. He tries to force weak contact, so command and execution are huge for him.
Devers now. And here it comes. And that's outside.
Ball 1.
Bullpen activity starting up now. Chris Stratton getting ready to go. Cabrera, the lefty, warming up as well. The 1-0. Up the middle. Sneaks through. Base hit. And the leadoff man aboard.
Once you get the ball by the pitcher, there's a lot of base hits up the middle, even on ground balls. So a nice job to use that big hole and get himself a hit.
So a man aboard. And up next for Chicago, Brian Reynolds. Line drive, base hit, and he boots it.
Now batting, the first baseman.
That ball was absolutely ripped. 111 off the bat, and I'm pretty sure it started to whistle after it left the bat.
I think I heard that too, Boog. And these are the moments we appreciate when we can look at StatCast and just see exactly what the data is. Always so much fun to see what numbers pop up.
And here is Kyle Schwarber.
1-0.
First offering misses badly for ball 1. At the belt and fires. And that's in the dirt.
Good spot for the hitter. Definitely has the advantage in this count with runners on. Look for him to be aggressive on this next pitch.
Right-handed reliever. There's a strike. The 2-1. Fought off foul. No outs. Runners at first and second. Next offering misses. 3-2 now. Blows the high heat past him. That's a strikeout.
Thought it was a pretty good pitch. Top of the strike zone. We're seeing more fastballs in that location. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes, have to be ready to pull the trigger.
2 on with 1 out. So up now for Chicago, Jose Ramirez. And first offering is fouled off. And a pitch.
That's out.
Strike 2.
Well, the hitter shows the pitcher that he's willing to go after that pitch down in the zone. So perhaps he'll come back to it. Still try to get that ground ball double play.
And the right-hander deals. Next offering is outside. Two now. Got him looking for the K. And a big sigh of relief from the mound with that called third strike.
No, you got to be ready to swing the bat with a runner in scoring position and 2 strikes. Just put the ball in play somewhere and you got a chance. Very frustrating for him, I'm sure. See if the next guy can pick him up.
So first and second with 2 outs. And next for the Cubs, Steven Kwan. There's a strike. The pitch.
Ball.
2 outs. Couple of base runners at first and second. And a 1-2 again. Breaking ball, and that got him. He had him 1-2, and he ends up hitting him with a pitch.
Well, there's no hiding in this spot. Bases loaded now, and no more wiggle room for any more mistakes like that.
Velasquez at the plate with 2 away, swings through that one. Next one misses, and that is ball 1. Devers at third, Reynolds at second, Kwan at first, 2 out of the inning. Next pitch is outside.
Berg, in situations like these, the air can get really thin up there at the plate. Got to find a way to breathe and slow everything down.
2 outs. Late that time, and it's strike 2.
Well, don't expect too many more high fastballs. This is a good sinker ball pitcher, and sometimes they can make mistakes trying to pitch up in the zone. Look for him to stay down around the knees to be effective.
Next offering is down low. Bo Bichette on deck for the Cubs. Three-two on the way. Ball 4, and a run comes in to score.
Really gotten himself into a mess out there, and now forces home a run with the walk. This inning's definitely getting away from him.
Bo Bichette gets a chance to hit. First offering misses the mark. Righty to the plate. And there's a ball.
Pressure's on right here. 2-0 count, bases loaded. You don't want to fall to a 3-ball count and then walk in a run. He's got to challenge the hitter right here.
And a pitch. That one's spoiled, and the count now 2-1. Bases loaded, 2 down. Swing and a miss, and now 2-2.
Good late sink on that fastball. Out of the hand, looks so good, and then by the time it gets in the hitting zone, hard to get the barrel to it.
The 2-2. Got him. Good job at damage control right there. So they get 1, but end up leaving the bases loaded. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Cubs 8 and the Cardinals 3. Back here at the ballpark, we go to the 8th, and here is Nolan Arenado. And when you talk about elite defensive third baseman, this guy is at the top of the list.
Stud. When you look at players like this, you play that hot corner, got to be pretty courageous over there with the way balls come off the bat. That's the kind of guy that every year you expect him to be in the All-Star game and have a Gold Glove, if not a Platinum Glove.
Next offering is down low, and it's 1-1. So what are the skills you look for that make a really good defensive third baseman that elite?
Well, Boog, one of the things I think about immediately are just the feet. Does he have good feet? Is he able to quickly react? And when you have good feet, you've got soft hands. And soft hand defenders are able to make tough plays look easy.
Next pitch inside. 3-1 now.
When you look at the ability to save runs defensively, but then also put runs up on the scoreboard, that's the kind of player that every championship team needs to have.
He swings and fouls one off. Here comes a pitch. Fouled off again. And it remains 3-2. Waldichuk still out there to pitch the 8th and working with a big lead.
He's been excellent, really on his game in this one. And at this point, he wants to finish what he started.
Foul ball, and it remains a full count. Is there a debate to be had about shutting him down, maybe to preserve some bullets given the score?
Absolutely. When you consider over the course of a long season, guys putting a lot of stress on that elbow, on that shoulder, but you also have to pry the ball out of a hand of a guy like this because he's so competitive.
The 3-2 is off the outside edge, and that is ball 4.
Second walk of the game for him, and he's been really patient at the plate. The game plan that he's sticking to, he's just not going outside what he's looking for up there.
Manager out of the dugout now, and it looks like we'll see a change on the mound. Ken Waldachuk departs, and we'll be back with their first arm out of the pen after a quick break. A new pitcher in the game, Riley Thompson.
And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
And first offering is fouled off.
A little tardy on that fastball. Is going to have to get it going a little quicker. Get that front foot down.
And it's even up. Nobody out. Runner at first. Next pitch is outside. Right-hander kicks, deals. And a 2-1 hammered but foul. Righty delivers. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Two down. Line drive, and that should be extra bases. And that's going to roll to the wall. Arenado around third. The throw is offline, and he's in to score. And it's 8-4.
A couple of hits in a row for him here. Anytime you rip a line drive the other way, you feel really good about what you did at the plate. You trusted your hands, you let the ball travel, and you took the barrel straight to it. That's great work right there.
So now here's the Cardinals designated hitter, Tyler O'Neill. That's a little bit low.
Counts 1-0.
No outs. Runner on second. Next offering is in for a strike.
1-1.
And now the count 1-2 after the swing and the miss.
They can live up in the zone all game if guys will chase it. That's just too much velocity. Hitters got to look down in the zone.
1-2 now. Spoils a 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. One and two here. And that one hit 97 on the gun.
Hood gets talked about a lot, but a good high fastball in a 2-strike situation, it's just become such a problem for hitters in more recent years. But with all of the emphasis by pitchers on developing that spin rate, having a good grip on the baseball, those high fastballs, they kind of look like to the hitter that they're rising, even though they're not, but they're not decreasing in velocity and spin rate. So very difficult to get the barrel on it.
And he grounds one to the right side. Turner with the throw to first. And there's 2 away.
Now batting, the second baseman, Paul.
Now it's the second baseman, Paul DeYoung. Swing and a miss.
0-1.
And that's strike one. And a pitch. Try to get him to chase on the changeup that time.
1-1.
Contreras at third with 2 away. Ripped on the ground to second. Fires over to Schwarber. That's the third out. So a run on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Home half of inning number 8 straight ahead. It's the Cubs 8 and the Cardinals 4. Genesis Cabrera taking the mound.
And they felt it was time to bring on a left-handed reliever from the pen with a lefty hitter coming up. I think that's a good move. I know I never liked when opposing teams did that to me.
Now the Cubs catcher, Dom Nunez.
The catcher, Dom Nunez.
The pitch. Swing and a miss.
0-1.
Strike one. The pitch.
Nope.
And now the count
0-1.
is even.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Left-hand hitter waits. Got him looking. Called strike 3 and a fastball up in the zone.
Well, just couldn't pull the trigger on the fastball right there, and I don't think he was taking it, thinking it might be a called ball or anything. I just think he was flat out frozen. Did not expect that location, in my opinion.
Popped up first base side. Dives. What a play.
Well, 2 goals when you've got the go-ahead run at the plate. Keep him in the ballpark, and then second, keep him off base. Well, that diving stop right there does just that. Excellent job.
Now it's Devers at the plate. First pitch doesn't find the zone. Two down, nobody on. And Devers hits that one. Carlson settles underneath it. Makes the play, and it's out number 3. And the Cubs are down in order, but they still lead it by a count of 8-4. We go to the 9th. Here's the left fielder, Oscar Mercado.
Oscar Mercado.
Thompson back to work. Into center and a base hit.
Wastes no time there. That's about as textbook as it gets. Got his stride and load out of the way early. He stayed inside that ball and squared it up out front. Man, that was like he was in the cage hitting off a tee.
So up next, Tommy Edman.
Struck out on just 3 pitches last time.
Ball 1, no strikes. Thompson, the tall righty, he features a 4-seam fastball, a curve, a changeup, and he works in a 2-seamer. And the 1-0. Started to swing, held up.
Almost got him to commit, but he held back.
Two and 0 to count. Here it comes. And that's in for a strike. Next offering popped in the air, right field. Velasquez pulls it down, and there's one down.
Now back, the center fielder, Dylan Carlson.
Man at first, and now the center fielder, Dylan Carlson. And that is in for a strike. 0-1. Now 1-1.
No, he's really working him away this at bat. Sometimes take a little bit off velocity. Try to get a rollover, something on the ground. Stay away from that big hole on the right side of the infield.
Started to go to 1-2. A check on it to third. Yes, he did. That's a swing. Next pitch is outside, and it's 2-2. Mercado over at first with one away. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. The pitch. Just misses the mark outside the zone.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
The pitch. And it goes just foul. Michael
attention,
Kopech.
please.
He'll play first base after the injury.
For the Cubs. Now playing first base. Number
Good battle
34,
here. About to be the
Michael
8th pitch of the at-bat. The 3-2 is off the outside edge, and that is ball 4.
Pretty good spot on the outside, but just couldn't quite clip the zone. That's a stone cold take.
Paul Goldschmidt next up for the Cardinals. And that one is inside.
If you're on the mound right now, you know you have to retire this hitter. If he gets on base, it could open up the floodgates for this offense to score some runs.
Liner, and that should be extra bases. Mercado coming home. One run is in. Carlson around third. Cut off. Now a throw home. Not in time. He's safe as 2 runs score on the play. Well, Singy, he is locked in there.
Well, he's really slowed the game down, and it's like he's moving in full speed, and everybody is a step or 2 behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells me that he is seeing it like a beach ball.
Now the third baseman, Nolan Arenado. Zach Jackson on to pitch out of the pen here.
Well, he hasn't pitched in a while, coming on here after 5 days rest, so he should be rested, but we'll see if he has any rust to shake off.
And that's in there for strike 1. Way high. Swing and a miss. That is strike 2.
Wow, no fair right there. I mean, that slider didn't move to the very last moment. Incredibly difficult to pick that up. Just kind of have to tip your cap on that pitch.
Next one is off the plate, and that's ball 2. Runner at second here, 1 gone. Check swing. Now a look down to first. And he punches him out. He went around. On the north side of Chicago, John Sciambi and Chris Singleton. And now the catcher comes up to him, Wilson Contreras. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
The only adjustment he needs to make is his target. If you aim at the outside corner, that slider's going to end up way off the plate. Perhaps look a little more down the middle, and you get it right where you want it.
Runner leads away at second.
Ball 2.
That one fouled off. The tying run at the plate. Towards first, and he grabs it foul. Man on second, 2 down. And another ball.
Big pitch coming right here. Last thing he wants to do is put the tying run on base, but he can't groove one either.
Down to their final strike. So now 2 on and 2 outs.
Walks out of the bullpen can absolutely kill your momentum very quickly. They're in some hot water trying to protect this lead.
Tyler O'Neill next up for the Cardinals. Great speed and great power. A great athlete, quite simply.
At the ball.
Well, he's already in some trouble, and falling behind in the count makes it even worse. Then you've got to throw the ball over more of the plate, and that's where they can really do damage against a guy like this.
The 1-0.
Ball.
Misses again, 5 in a row.
This is a really good feeling for a hitter at this point in the ball game. You know that they don't want to walk you, so you're going to get a pitch to hit. You just better not miss it.
Two on, 2 outs. And that's in for a strike. Foul back our way, and that's out of play.
Just missed. If he's able to connect on that, look out.
And the righty deals. Good job to fight that one off. Here comes a 3-2. Got him, and that's the ball game.
9 wins in a row. It's such a good feeling right now with this club that no one wants to be the guy that causes the team to lose. In fact, they're looking at ways. Each guy, every day he comes to the ballpark, how can I help us win today? And this is a great feeling. It's like being in the playoffs. When individual statistics don't matter, it's all about the team W.
Final score of 8-6 in this one. The Cubs go home a winner. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi. We'll see you soon.
Here now is our final line score this afternoon. First for the victorious Chicago Cubs. 8 runs on 13 hits. 1 error. They left 6 men on base. For St. Louis, 6 runs, 10 hits. No errors. They left 9 runners on base. Time of the ball game,